So just to kick off on the straightforward ones, the annual little increase in the USC, and this year again, as in the last number of years, it's been increased just to allow for the increase in minimum pay, in the minimum rates of pay, which come in from 1/1/23. So essentially, all they've done is they've added a few bob to the 2% band and brought it down out of the 4.5% band. And again, for probably 10 years in a row at this stage now, no change into the 70,044 band. So just tweaking of the middle bands purely to allow for the increase in minimum wage to ensure that the minimum people on minimum pay do not pay USC at the 4.5% higher band. So nothing major there. And again, no change to the overall exemption. It remains at 13,000, even though it's well below minimum wage. So if you're on minimum wage full time, you will pay USC. The 100,000 at 11% also remains there. They haven't gone near the 60,000 and over 2% flag if you're 70 or plus or full medical card. And the medical card one is a temporary one, but again, they've added one more year to it as they do every year. So if you have a medical card for 1 day in the year, full card, not a GP card, a full card, you'll only pay USC at the lower bands if you've earned less than €16,000 in the year. So that's the only again small tweaks there. A couple of ones that came in during the year. A payment for an incorrect birth registration payment. This is the scheme that came into the public during the year regarding the original I suppose you might say controversy regarding original birth certificates back in the 50s and 60s and so on. If you get paid one of these, just confirming it's a income tax exemption if you receive a payment of up to 3,000, which is the current scheme amount. Section 4 there was actually one of the report stage amendments to yesterday, so it's not in the slide pack that the attendees would have received. All it's confirming, it's not a major one, just confirming that if somebody passed away in the healthcare worker scheme from COVID, it confirms what revenue have already put into practice, which is the payment is exempt from income tax. That's all that literally put it came in for yesterday. COVID-19 redundancy payments, again, confirming revenue practice. If anybody was receiving a COVID-19, what's called the related layoff payment, CRLP, between March 2020 and January 22, the main outbreak of COVID restrictions in Ireland, again, that payment is exempt from income tax as is akin to a redundancy payment. There's a change in the Redundancy Payments Act. That's all it's confirming there. And again, just confirming legislation, what is revenue practice anyway. The Help to Buy scheme, again, the only change here is that they've actually increased it for another couple of years. And they keep on saying it's going to go. Obviously, in the middle of a housing crisis, they couldn't be getting rid of these kind of schemes. So they've added it for another, the bottom line there, added it for another 2 years onto the scheme. No change to the limits again. It's still a 10% of the property up to €500,000 or 4 years tax you paid, including USC, or €30,000. It's the lower of one of those three overall. I've left some slides in there for those of us who are interested in the actual scheme itself regarding conditions for the purchaser to qualify, conditions for the contractor to qualify, and conditions for revenue to be given regarding the scheme itself. There's also a small change, which I haven't actually flagged here, it's quite small, regarding certain types of social housing loans that don't qualify. Again, very limited application, but just to be aware of some of the tweaks here and there. One of the ones obviously they flagged in the budget which as Naomi quite rightly said, gives it all the good news. Obviously was the increase from 500 to 1,000 for the vouchers, and I suppose to allow 2 vouchers per annum up to 1,000. So you can give 500 and you can give 500, you can give 250 and you can give 750, and so on and so forth. And importantly, I suppose, unlike other measures in the bill, it's been backdated and applies from 2022. So those employers who are looking at rewarding staff to a higher figure than last year can do it this year as well as next year. Again, the section has reiterated that a salary sacrifice is not permitted, and the voucher can't be redeemed for cash or part cash. Just watch some of the cards that are floating around there. If the card is a potential cash redeemable, it's emolument and it's payroll, and taxes have to be operated overall. So it can't be salary sacrifice, and this is the highest ever been now, €1,000 overall, much larger than some other countries. So just to bear in mind, it is there from the start of this year. The Bike to Work scheme, introduction of a new allowance for cargo bicycles. This is new to me, but the cargo bicycle is the official name for a bike that basically you can put a load of kids on or you can carry all your shopping and massive big frames right front and so on. They're expensive, and the allowance is up to €3,000 for a cargo bike. So we have the allowance there for the e-bikes, for the normal bikes. Now we have cargo bikes in there as well. And again, either go down the route of giving it to an employee free of tax, BIK free, or go for the salary sacrifice deduction from payroll. Either one will work fine as in the current scheme as well. So no surprises there, but it's just a further addition to the overall scheme.